Thank you very much. This is my first time at the Voice Conference too, so I think it's a huge platform. I appreciate what's happening, and I think we should encourage it. Big story, big history, big history. I don't have the time to start giving my own history, but I know I started as a broadcaster in 2005. I did my first voiceover in 2007. I was in Port Harcourt then, so a couple of jobs. The same story I heard shared. When he was sharing the story, I was just smiling like, that was me too. So in Port Harcourt, I was everywhere. My voice was huge. I was moving. It was easy to just walk into a company and say, I'm just so, how you it? And I get a job. In 2010, I got a job online for $600. And I was like, I compared that to what I was earning in Port Harcourt. I was like, no, this is not it. I said, okay, let me come to Lagos. So I moved over to Lagos in 2016. And I started trying to find my way around. What's happening? How do we get here? I was checking online, the agencies, the producers and all that. And somehow God pushed me to my angel, Joy. And she showed me around, showed me a couple of things, and that's been it for me. So back to the question you asked. He said something about the beasts. The industry is quite huge now, very, very big. And I believe we are not taking advantage of that might. We're not taking advantage of it. Why I've always advocated for AVOA. I'm not an executive member of AVOA. As a matter of fact, I'm a floor member of AVOA. But because it's a structure that I've seen when I got to Lagos in 2016 and started doing voiceovers and, got some jobs with some agencies, some producers, it was AVOA that was making it look like there's a structure around this thing. At a point, I remember at some point they were asking, where's your AVOA receipt? Where's your AVOA, what? So I had to start doing all that to process it. So I see AVOA as an institution that is standing already when it comes to voiceovers in Nigeria. Whether anybody likes to accept it or not, that is the truth. We've heard stories of voice artists in Nigeria who have interactions, one-on-one interactions with the advertisers directly. What's the percentage? If we have 100 voiceover artists practicing in Nigeria today, and you have just 2 people who can speak to MTN directly and say, oh, God, let me give you 20,000, let me give you 20 million for this job, Can we hold that and say we're pushing the industry forward? So it's just a few people doing these things on their own. They're just finding their way. I think it is not right. So I think AVOA is a structure that every voice artist can come together, build together. He said something, he said, APCON and AVOA, the industry has moved ahead of them. How can we bring APCON, okay, let's forget APCON. How can we bring AVOA to move at that space at which the industry is moving today? The responsibility is on every single practitioner. So sometimes I feel bad when I hear voice artists say, AVOA should. And I'm like, why are we saying AVOA should? We're practitioners in this thing. We should. So when you keep saying AVOA should do this, AVOA should, it makes it look like AVOA is doing a different business and you are doing a different thing. We are the practitioners in this thing. And if we want it to work, we all owe the industry a responsibility to push it. So that's what I've always spoken about it. When I have opportunities, I talk about it. For instance, in the past 3-4 years now, I've really not made enough money. Like I've not made as much money as I've made online doing jobs outside Nigeria. So I prefer to chase jobs on Voice 123. I prefer to chase jobs on voices.com, even some of this freelancers platform, Upwork and all that. I prefer to chase voiceover jobs there than chase them here. Because, for instance, the biggest industries, the biggest agencies in the business today, we have to call the names. Are we not allowed to call names? We should because it's an industry. Insights, Extreme, DDB. These guys are the big guys who get the major brands. Those are the guys that do the big jobs. How much do they pay? It looks like it's a conversation voice artists avoid totally. 40,000 naira, 50,000 naira for radio. For TV, 50,000. Then there are some emerging agencies, maybe producers who do TV commercials. They pay 100,000 naira. One, I just found out one that at least the past 3 jobs I've done for her, she's paid me 120,000 naira for a TV commercial. This is what happens, and it looks like nobody talks about it. You just chill. Maybe you have access to one advertiser, you collect your million, you pocket it, and you keep quiet. 90% of the other practitioners in the industry are not doing the same thing. They still pay people 10,000, 15,000 naira for voiceovers in Nigeria today. I'm hearing that for the first time, 5K. So my thought is this thing can't be built individually. It's not possible. You can struggle on your own. Yeah, I'm the big girl. Chama is big. Remy is big. I have this bigger. Eric is Baba. I can speak to Airtel directly and tell them, this is what you're going to pay me. If you're not paying me this, leave. How many voice artists can actually do that? So if you're doing that out of 100, if 2 people are doing that, will you say the industry is flourishing? The industry is not flourishing. So I think okay. There are platforms. I'll hand it to you. There are different platforms. There are different maybe bodies, organizations trying to push their own thing individually. I don't think that would work. It's like a broom. You're trying to sweep with a bunch of broom, and you're using one. You have one stick. You're trying to sweep your own corner. It doesn't affect the industry. So if we're talking about the future, survive or die, we have to, it's either we do it together as practitioners or we die.
Thank you very much. That was very interesting.